Hi, I'm Scott. Welcome to Goldwing Docs. Today we got a review on a luxury tool item that you probably can do without, but God, it's useful when you need it. Coming up next. So how hot is something? When it comes to your motorcycle, you want to know things like, are all cylinders running? Are all cylinders running equally? And one of the best ways of doing that is by looking at the exhaust headers coming out of the cylinders, because you can simply touch them and say, oh, this one's cold. Obviously, this cylinder's not running. That's great when you first start up the bike, but after it's been running for a while, you're not going to be putting your hand on the exhaust headers, or you're going to be leaving a whole lot of skin behind. That's when tools such as this, which is an infrared thermometer, come into use. This is another Harbor Freight cheapie. I hate this thing. It uses a 9-volt battery, and you put the 9-volt battery in there, and then you don't use it for a month or so, and the battery's dead. It actually uses the battery when it's just sitting there not being used. Terrible design, which you come to expect from Harbor Freight, but every time you want to use it, you got to put a new battery in it. So actually what I should do, I'm just an idiot. I leave the battery in it in hopes that it'll still be good the next time I use it, which of course it isn't. So what I need to do is keep the battery separate from this and then just put it in when I want to use it. But the idea is that it has a laser. You put the laser on what you want to measure, pull the trigger, and it shows the temperature on the screen of whatever it is you're pointing it at. That's great. You can get like a point temperature of things, and for the most part it's reasonably accurate. The farther away you get, it becomes a little bit less accurate. All right, so you don't have a thermometer, you want to know the temperature of things. You could get yourself a FLIR camera. Yeah, a FLIR camera. You've seen those in use. They have them on helicopters for tracking people on the ground. You can see in infrared. You've seen firefighters using it to locate fires inside of walls. And then you go and look and see what they cost. And a little handheld gun like this with a screen on the back is $1,000. Okay, well, maybe not. However, technology prices are coming down. You can get a FLIR camera like this one for less than a third of that. The resolution is obviously not going to be the same as the FLIR camera that you get that's $1,000. $1,000 FLIR camera from FLIR, which is a brand name, is 640 by 480. This simple one that's just over $300 is 32 by 32 pixels. So it's going to give you a grainy picture, but it definitely gives you a picture that is usable. So let's open it up and see what's inside. So we get this nice little carry case and a manual, which we'll put aside. Inside the case we get the actual unit itself, and we get a wire to plug it in as a USB cable. It's pretty simple, camera in front, screen on the back. I did notice that when I got this, the screen was kind of scratched, which I don't expect from a $300 tool. If I can't wipe it clean, no, it's pretty scratched. And I mean, it almost looks like it was used, but no, it just was not protected very well in the box. Usually things like this come with a film protector that you peel off, so the screen is pristine when you get it, but this one, I don't know if it was used when I got it or somebody had, and if someone had returned it, but I'm really surprised that the screen was in this condition when I got it. Sometimes I'm an idiot. So after I made the video, I was looking at this thing and thought, that's a little bit of plastic there that seems like it's just hanging, and what do you know, it actually is film that you peel off the screen to protect it. So the screen wasn't scratched at all. What was scratched was the protective film that is on there to keep the screen from getting scratched. If I'd actually looked at it closely, I probably would have realized that straight away. However, most products like that have that protective film have a little tab showing you that you can peel it off. This one did not, so you can't blame me entirely for that. Anyway, so the screen is fine. Ignore everything I just said. Back to the video. So if we push and hold the red button to turn it on, it boots up and we get a nice little screen on there. And what we get then is a picture in infrared. And if we put something in there like my hand, you can see my fingers and my hand showing up in front. And it does show, wherever that cross is, it shows the temperature of what you're pointing at. So if I move it down here, the temperature comes down. You can see inside my garage, it says it's 78.6. Because there are two cameras in the front, there's one infrared and one visible light, you can actually switch between them. So if I push this button, it will switch to just a regular camera. Even in visual mode, it's still going to read the temperature of wherever that spot is. So if I put my hand in there, you can see it's going to pop the temperature up. There's another mode where you can overlay the actual image over the infrared so you can get a better idea of what it is you're looking at. So let's have a look at my car here. And I just started it up for just a few minutes. Now I can change the amount of infrared versus visible light in here. So there's my visible light only, we'll get infrared only. And if I look at the exhaust manifold here, you can see it's fairly warm because I was just running it, and you can see some hot areas that are probably going to be the exhaust valves. And again, I can measure that just by pointing at it. So let's get that little spot right there, and it's showing me the hot and the cold spots. So let's get right there, 113.9. This hose, this heater hose, you can see, is also, this is running to the radiator, and you can see it's also quite warm, 120 degrees, as compared to the engine next to it, which is showing at 90. So you can actually look at the heater hose. There is a trigger button on here that when you point it at something and press the trigger, it will freeze it. So now I have an image that I've frozen, and if I press the OK button, it will actually save that to memory, and then I can plug it in via USB and retrieve that image later. So we'll get a picture here of my exhaust headers, and let's bring in some visible light as well, so we can overlay that. And then I'll click the button to freeze that, and we'll press OK. That saves it, and then we can plug this in via USB and download it to your computer, and I'll show what those images look like here. Actually, I won't. When I went to plug this into my computer to try to retrieve the images from the camera, it completely failed. Every time I plugged it in, it just said the USB device connected to this computer has failed. I tried it on multiple different computers. I tried it plugging it into Mac. I tried plugging it into Windows. I tried all over the place trying to get this thing to work, and it never works. I went online and found quite a few people with the same exact problem. So apparently the data storage functionality of this camera is broken. You can review the images on the camera itself. There's just no current way of actually getting those images off the camera onto the computer. I have put a message out to the manufacturer to see if there's a way of fixing this and what the problem actually is, but as yet I haven't gotten a response. Also, I should mention, I didn't mention it in the video, and I just realized it now, that in the image, if you see there's a little red and green box also on the display. The red shows where the hottest part of the image is, and the green shows where the coldest part of the image is, and those two temperatures are shown, the numbers, at the bottom of the screen. I should have mentioned that when I was looking at it previously, and I just realized now that I forgot. Okay, back to the video. So who and what is this good for? Well, obviously a mechanic, if you need to find hot things, if you've got problems with hot spots in terms of exhaust, plugs, maybe you want to see you've got a problem with cooling. You could point this at your radiator. If you see only half the radiator is hot and the other half is cool, then you know you've got a problem with your radiator. Maybe it's blocked, maybe you've got air in there. Electronics generally shouldn't run hot. So if you point this at a circuit board and one of the chips or resistors or something is glowing yellow or red, you know you've got a problem with that individual component. In your house, if you've got heat loss in your house, point this at the wall at winter time and it'll show you where is the heat escaping, because the wall will be different colors depending on how much heat is escaping from your house. So even if something simple as that, where you're going to insulate your house to reduce loss of heat, you could easily pay for this in energy savings. You could easily pay for this in time saved trying to diagnose a cooling problem in your motorcycle. So yes, it seems like a luxury tool, but it's really handy and it has a lot of different uses. I do wish it had USB and a lithium cell inside to power it. The batteries go in the bottom here. It has a little cell in here that has you put 3 AAA batteries in there. From what I can see in here, there may be another option where you could get a lithium cell that fits in here. It would be 4.5 volts. I don't know that for sure, but it would be nice if they had that option. I don't really like having things that have batteries. And these days of rechargeable lithium-ion battery packs, it's really kind of cheap to have something that runs off AAA cells like this. You expect that of a cheap laser, not a $300 FLIR camera. But I think it's definitely useful. I'll definitely have a use for it. I'll definitely keep it. If you think it's useful as well and you maybe consider buying one, I'd ask please use the Amazon affiliate link that we have in the description below. Using that to buy this unit or anything else off Amazon helps us out. It gives a few cents, maybe $1 or $2, and it helps us create these videos that are really expensive to put out, as well as run the Goldwing Docs website, which again is really expensive to run, which is why you see ads. All right, if you did find any of this helpful or interesting, please click like, click subscribe, and that little bell. It means you get notified every time we post another one of these videos. If you have any comments, questions, complaints, corrections, please leave them in the comments below. And if you haven't checked out the Goldwing Docs website, don't forget Goldwing Docs forums, one of the largest Goldwing forums on the internet, 94,000 members, Goldwing owners just like you, friendly people just waiting to say hello, help you with any problems you might have. Thanks for watching. Oh, it is hot in here today. My garage is just sweltering. I need to put an air conditioning system in here. Foreshadowing.